All right. Hello, hello. Welcome everyone back to yet another DCC.
Where's that Texas music, man? Where's that yeehaw music? Where's that DJ music, man? I was grooving in the green room. I was like, all right.
Happy hour show. Yeah, so we had DJ Cryptomatic on. He does the pregame for the show on Fridays usually. And yeah, we had him on in the green room, and DCC was getting down to some country music there.
Man, he was dressed up in an entire outfit too, man. He was
Yes.
country boy on that street, man. I was like, wow, man.
He goes all out, and like I said, we're saying in the green room, the rap show was last week, so it was always a good time there, and a bunch of good people hang out over there in Twitch, and we'll get the raid, I'm sure, from them here soon. And yeah, everybody is here. Sorry about the delay. All good. We're good now. We're good. Maddie Allen, what's going on? Crypto Stylist, what's going on? Mel Tony, Freddie Quotes, X19. Got the price updates. It's so much nicer to see these price updates with Hex above a nickel now. So we'll get into all of that. Brizology, Crispy Man. Saw him on a good show with Maddie Allen the other night, along with Briz. Torin, what's up? Doug, what's up? Aussie Vets in Crypto. And yes, Blaine, the raid train is here from Twitch. So thank you, Mr. DJ Cryptomatic. And there you have it. So good stuff. What is up, Hex fam? Indeed. I mean, we got no shortage of things to talk about, but I think the most newsworthy item of the day and or week, and I'm sure like people are tuning in and they're going to watch this on replay. They're going to listen to it. Dollar cost crypto. What is your take? Who would? Let's just get right to it. You got Sammy Chica or you got HVid Pulse X in a mud wrestling match?
I got Sammy all day.
Me too.
No, shout out to Sammy, man. I mean, respectfully, she would wax that ass.
So in case you are living under a rock today, there's some Twitter drama, and I thought it was just like I've read back like the exchange, and I guess like HVid or whatever name was just like, you know, just trigger happy and just went off on Sammy. I didn't really see that Sammy did anything wrong. She was just, you know, saying, you know, hey, it's, you know, sometimes we get blocked every now and then, and HVid went off on her.
You know, after years of being in Hex, you know what I've come to find out that anytime you get someone from like the Swedish countries, that they go off the rails a little bit once in a while, and then bring it back in. That's happened so many times. Like I don't even want to name the people, but that's happened a lot. I have no idea what's going on over there in the Swedish and those Nordic countries, but my God.
I'll be looking for the Lost Ivan on Tech tapes then for him going off the deep end. Isn't he over up yonder somewhere? So. But yeah, man, good to have you on.
Entirely agrees with us.
yes, they do. I don't see one vote the other way. So yeah, Sammy Glammy. Yeah, I got her by submission, I think.
Submission.
Yeah, I think HVid, she strikes me as a striker, hair puller kind of thing. I think Sammy could like get her in a clinch.
With a Bronco Buster, bro. She ain't
got Bronco WWE style. Yes.
Yeah, man.
Who was that? X-Pac?
X-Pac, maybe, and then just like
X-Pac and the Bronco Buster. That's right. Yes, DCC appears. I had Crypto Stylist send up the bat signal for you, and it worked evidently because you're here. Bitcoin Jesus, Litecoin Moses, dollar cost crypto leader of what is your money gang?
The Moon Gang, Crypto
Moon Gang. There you go.
Baby.
You're putting out plenty of content like multiple times a week now. So
I'm putting a lot of content. I've done like I've got streams on other channels. I've got maybe like 5 or 7 interviews coming out in like the next week.
Nice.
Minimum.
I saw like Rolo, Charlie on there, and like somehow, some way, I stumbled across the video of the smelly girl in Miami, and I was like, what am I watching? And like the explanation of it, and it's just like, man, self-awareness I guess doesn't apply to some people, but
I,
it
I,
was hilarious.
I think a lot of those girls end up coming from different parts of the world where it's a lot drier or colder or something like that. So you come down to Miami, you have there's like musk. I mean, basically there's humidity, and
Oh yeah,
you imagine these girls are just partying and stuff, and then the next day they're not really washing themselves. I'm guessing well. So I'm not saying all of them, but there's like been a couple. It's been like every other time I go, I'm like, Jesus, wow,
really?
wow, yeah, like
Okay.
and they always walk in together too. And I'm just like, we're just playing this game. The guys are in the back. We're just going like, which one? Which one? I feel so bad too because like the time I was doing the stream with Richard on Fresh and Fit,
Yeah.
the girl that was into Richard was the one that was fucking like,
Oh no.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
I
unfortunate.
didn't. Yeah, it wasn't great and stuff like that. But she was into Richard. I thought Richard was gonna, I was like, oh, let's take that home. But
I'm sure he takes lots of things home, but yeah. Hodl Dog update. Yeah, he is a little better. He chimed back in earlier on Twitter this week. I guess he fell and
oh wow,
yeah, had a head injury, and he's in the hospital. Not sure if he's
wow.
out yet, but he checked back in and thanked everybody for sending the good vibes to him on Twitter. Even Richard Hart gave him a shout out, so that was cool to see. So, but yeah, man, I mean, let's get down to business. Not sure how long you got, but we got like a short list of things to I'd love to get your take on. And usually you're on the show and we have like a bunch of panelists on. And
what's going on, Cabana? What's happening? Did they show up this week?
No, I mean, I kind of kept it at a minimum a little bit, just because I feel like you don't always get to say as much as you want to say when we have so many panelists. So I just figured hey man, I'll just bounce off some ideas, questions, and see what you got, because you have no shortage of opinion, thought, and you cover more than just the Richard Hart ecosystem. Like, you're knowledgeable,
Right.
Well outside of it. And we've done shows with Dave Levine talking like 100 coins like a couple years ago, which was fun. So it's just fun to
yeah, it's kind of like I like Dave a lot. He's a smart guy. Just very opinionated as well and stuff like that. Just
he's gonna be on here in the next couple weeks too. So
hey, shout out to Dave.
Have him back on and see if he's looked into PulseChain anymore with these god awful ETH fees. But anyway,
where are we at right now? $100 unstake fee right now.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah, if it's like 40 Gwei, it's like 100, 150 maybe.
Yeah,
or more. I mean, once you get 50, 60, then it's just like, depending upon if you have legacy stakes like from the very beginning. Yeah, I'll pull up and check a fee every now and then. I'm just, man, and swaps, they can get out of control sometimes. I think it was what was the coin or NFT that caused that this week? Do you know?
This
I have it on.
Yeah, it was
Blur. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So blur.io just like jacked everything up. So
that's not where the money's at, you guys. Trump NFTs. That's where you make money.
I mean, the value on those, like, everybody thought they were a joke initially, and now, I mean, they're selling for what, multiples of what they went for at the beginning?
Yeah, they're like in dollars, they're about 7 to 8x on dollars, and they're about if I remember right, it's about 55 or 60% of an Ethereum for one. Not bad. If you add up the current price of them, if it's a coin, it's sitting at a $22 million market cap.
Nice.
I'm just saying, man. That's probably if there's ever an NFT that's going to do stupid things, probably next year with the election. Beautiful.
And if Trump wins, look out. Because
I'm
just saying the value of those would go even higher than what they would already get, I would think. So I think what's his face, Ron DeSantis, like, did the hard version of it. He actually had baseball cards because he played baseball back in the day, and he sold like 10 baseball cards that had like a piece of his uniform from back in the day in it or something like that, and they were going for like thousands of dollars. I'm like, man, wait till he gets like on the NFT train and does something like that. So that's
Yeah,
where it's
but
going. So.
but normally baseball cards do pretty bad in NFT form. They usually don't sell that well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just go straight to the NFT and
Yeah, it's because a major distributor of like MLB and stuff like that is the Wax protocol, and Wax is just getting their ass waxed, bro. It's pretty bad. It's like it's trash basically. And they also chose to like on their I can't believe I'm talking about freaking NFTs. Oh my god.
That's not even on my list, but yeah, here we are.
Fever's got me fucking talking dumb right now. But basically with their these kind of like baseball NFTs and stuff like that, they kind of chose a more generic, like an actual card instead of like where UFC Strike did or NBA Top Shot. Those actually like have more cooler. It's more of this like cooler effect and stuff like 3D models and all this stuff. And it's a lot cooler. Where the other ones are just like a baseball card. So it's like the most simplistic NFT. That's why they haven't really done that well.
Gotcha. Yeah, Briz said I don't think he's joking. He did well with the Trump NFTs, but anyway, let's get off the NFT stuff. Let's get back to some reality.
Sure.
And where are you at? I guess we'll just start with like the big overview, and then we'll get into specific coins and your opinions on those and whatnot. But the big view, the Fed, we've been talking about for months on here, and it seemed like, and I'll just give you my take, and you tell me if you're kind of leaning with me or you have a different take on it. But it seemed like everybody up until like a couple weeks ago, we were banking on, all right, man, the last cut or raise rate is March, and that's it. And then we had that jobs report come in, the wage data was strong, and then we got, I guess, the recent inflation report, and then that was a little hotter than expected. So now we're like looking out to at least May. So everybody was like, all right,
at the very least.
At the very least. And we thought, oh yeah, we could be done this cycle, the rate changes by March, but now it's like at least May, likely June. So yeah, what's your take on where we're at? And I mean, it sucks, man, because we could be like full on bull, close, but it just seems like it's gotten put off by a couple months.
Yeah, I mean the thing is this is kind of, we're in a weird sort of place where like as long as we're increasing the rates, we don't get so like every time that the Fed either decides to like, okay, we're no longer increasing, or we're no longer when we're no longer increasing rates anymore, that means like the rates are going to start heading down or staying there for a while. Usually there's a dip in the market, right? So with them extending out the rate hike increases by 25 basis points, at least we're going to get like 3 more raises. That puts us at somewhere like 5.25, 550, like 5.5% at the top end. Probably more than likely like at 5.25, realistically being like the top there. But that's crazy because like something I was saying like early last year was like the zone where things could get really dicey and the with the interest rates is around 5.5%, because you can actually start having some. You have towns that borrow money for infrastructure and stuff like that, and sometimes the credit worthiness of some of these counties and stuff isn't that great, and they end up taking higher interest rate loans, or basically loans where it's more or less variable. And at 5.5%, you start getting some people, some counties, as well as like you start having corporations, as well as you start getting individuals who took loans for the PPP loans.
Mm-hmm.
And not the initial first one, but there's like a secondary one where basically the first loan they gave to small businesses is basically you don't have to pay it back ever. Basically, it's like free money. But the secondary loans, where people were able to borrow like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, those do have to be paid back, and those payments pretty much start this year and 24. So you end up having this whole thing where some people probably blew that, and that's really where a lot of the inflation happened in the system and stuff like that. Like when people say like, "Oh my God, these COVID checks, this is the reason why the market's pumping and stuff." Like, really, if you think about it, like the whatever checks the stimulus checks that they gave to Americans, it wasn't that like incredible, really. I mean, maybe some people got 3 checks, some people got 1, but we're talking about like 4,000 top end to like maybe $1,000 for some people, not including kids. But
I mean, the fact that they were giving them to them so late, like, in that bull cycle, I think contributed as well. So it's
yeah,
like,
it had some effect, but it wasn't this wasn't the reason why we have inflation and stuff. It's like it's basically all the lending and all these free loans that the businesses got. I mean, even the Lakers we're trying to grab like $10 million of free money.
everybody was putting in, and it's like, okay, well, if you get caught, you get caught. But I think about all the people who did not get caught. Like what waste is out there that was left unchecked? That's just the stuff that we know about. So
because the majority of people who received checks, that money was gone. Either they bought a TV, they bought groceries, they paid the bills, or some people aped it into Dogecoin. Like the money was gone very quickly, or invested very quickly. So it wasn't like this continual sort of thing. I mean, there's other countries around the world that legitimately had like a whole year of payments, and we didn't have that really.
Yeah, I think I saw like now credit card due amounts are back to what they were finally pre-COVID. Like we're kind of like getting in this place where like people's savings, they've tapped out a lot of the stimulus and the savings that they stayed in. Everybody's getting back out, so that's causing, I guess, some alarm with some. But at the same time, it's like you can't expect people to just stay at home forever. Like society, they're getting out and actually spending money, and this is going around the economy. It's not like they're just lighting it on fire. So I think the alarmists out there are like, oh my gosh, people don't have any money anymore. No, not necessarily.
Right. Crypto you walk $1,200 stimulus check in Hex is now worth a lot.
Yeah. Briz, where's that account? Yeah. What is the latest update tweet on that? So yeah.
$1 billion.
$1 billion. So yeah, with that being said, with the Fed, where do you think we're at in terms of the market? I guess we can just start with traditional markets, but / Bitcoin, because they do kind of end up bottoming and topping, whether it be in the same year, in the ballpark of each other. Are the lows in, do you think?
I mean, outside of a grace, like a black swan, pretty much, yeah. I mean, of course, if Russia attacked the United States or some crazy crap like that, or China, like outside of those things, like pretty much, yeah, it's in. What basically we're at right now until the Fed pause. I mean, basically we're in range right now for Bitcoin. I'm gonna use Bitcoin as kind of like the bellwether for the market, but like we're in range for Bitcoin to hit like $33,000 to $42,000, $44,000 within now in the summer. And there we go. Yeah. So right now we're at $2,400, and basically we're looking at a top end, maybe a 2x from here at most, a little less than a 2x, maybe an 80% increase in BTC over the summer.
Take us to this last little high here.
Yep. God damn, Pressology. Wow.
That's bullish.
Wow. You put up Pressology's
there we go.
Christ.
What? Yeah, I guess that's right. That's crazy.
Sheesh. Well,
wow. I knew it was a lot, but I didn't think it was that much. But yeah, when you think about it, like that was around, that's when Godwell made that giant candle. Like it was April of right after COVID. So yeah, the stimmy checks, were right around then. And yeah, wow. Thanks, Briz. Appreciate it.
But yeah, so pretty much we're gonna get a big increase in the market over time. It's just because the markets. I mean, 2022 was just a terrible year. I mean, it was just pretty much down, or sideways and down, right? And the market's a bunch of degenerate gamblers, and they need action. So there's something that we've been talking about in the courses and stuff, the crypto mindset courses, that this is going to be the year of just getting you're going to get a lot of dry powder in capital. You're going to get into it, like you're going to get your positions on all the old coins. And then next year is really going to be a year to get into new projects, really. So this year you can buy the lows on your favorite projects. And as soon as we get these multiples on these projects, then there's capital in the system in order to create new projects, which are the ones that can do like 30, 40, 50 X's, very quickly and stuff.
So you're talking like, just to repeat, like you're saying kind of like the legacy coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, if you're into it, like those now, and then your thinking is next year, like the new projects, that's the time, they'll get hot.
Yeah, they'll start getting kind of hot and stuff. So like just going off of what we're seeing right now, like I'll just call it 40. I'll call it like 44K as an example, right? or 47K, wherever the line is there. Let's just say we pump up to $47,000 in the next, less than 6 months. The Fed pivot will happen, and then the market will take a huge dip, and will pretty much BTC will crash back down to 21K.
All right.
So pretty much with a pump up, pump down. We're getting a version of what happened in 2019. So
I do remember that. Yeah.
Right, because like we went from $3,000 to $14,000. Obviously with the one token Ponzi and stuff like that. But so like you get obviously you don't get the exact thing every single time, but you get something that rhymes together, right? So if you kind of look at the all time low, let's just say the all time low is like $15,000, and it goes to 47,000. I mean that's a nice little increase right there, 3x plus.
Yeah, let me go back here. So it's 20. So yeah, here's 2019.
Yeah, 2019 February of 2019, we had the all time low at 3,000 and some change, 3,100.
Yep. Right there.
Yep.
We kind of ground around there, and I really thought like this was going to be kind of like that, like right here before the FTX thing. It felt like it, and then FTX happened, and then we just had that one last leg there.
I love how you just have an FTX.
Yeah, well, I blew it out here, but yeah, here we go.
Yeah. But if you go back to 2019 real quick.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's see if we can fix it up a little bit. There we go. You see how it happened right there, how we just started pumping up. It kind of looks like the same a little bit. Now it's not perfect and stuff, but we're getting a bit of a pump up. Obviously, I think we went that high. I mean, if you do the multiples on it and stuff, like let me do the math real quick. So basically, this time around, we may get a top end from all time low. Let's just say it's 15,500, and then it pumps up to 47. That's about a 3x. The one in 2019 was about a 4.5x. So that possibly could have gone higher just because there was the one token Ponzi and stuff like that with all the buying of Bitcoin in the market and stuff. So, but that's just Bitcoin alone. Obviously, fundamentally, Ethereum is a lot stronger than BTC. So if we get a 3x, if we get a nice 3x from bottom to top there on Bitcoin, we're going to get many more multiples, a bit more multiples on Ethereum, which is pretty nice. I think Ethereum was like what 700, no, 800 on some exchanges. So we can get maybe a 3.5x, maybe 4x on Ethereum during that time.
Yeah, the ETH chart is nice to look at as well. So let's do that real quick. So we're kind of like right up against this downtrend. I mean, literally we touched it either yesterday. I think we did it yesterday. So we're actually above the 200 week. I like to use the 200 week, and that's coming right down to the 40 week, and it's coming down to the 200. Excuse me. And yeah, we're right above that. Man, if we can bust that downtrend line, I mean, that would be good for alts. Maybe not so good for ETH fees, but
no. But at the end of the day, how do you get rich? How many tokens you have times price.
Yep. Yeah, man. So yeah, we're right against that. What is that line? So we're like 1740. So if we busted that this week, yeah, we'd be off to the races, like 1750, like a close there by Sunday. That'd look cool. But we still have like legacy market headwinds, although it didn't really matter too much to ETH today. It kind of, held in strong. And do you think ETH flips BTC this cycle?
It's possible. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen this cycle. Yeah.
Oh, if it does happen, it's happening this one. So
no. I mean, this
cycle,
in this cycle, basically. I'd probably say it's like later half of the bull market, the second half of the bull market in terms of when it would happen. But yeah, it's bound to happen. I don't think they'll hold it for that long, but it'll just, I mean, just off of like having Ethereum upgrade to Ethereum 2.0, just the amount of money saved. I think I forgot to look. I think it was over $1 billion of selling pressure that was like saved so far since implementing from going from proof of work to proof of stake. Just because of all the inflation that's saved. Yep. It's a pretty large amount of Ethereum.
Yeah, Bitcoin just looks a little heavier just because it hasn't busted the 200 yet. So I mean, it tapped it earlier today, like rated, what is that, 25K? Just about on the button. So the 200 week. And I just love using the 200 week just because it's a guidepost for me in especially like the S&P. And this is one of my favorite charts I've shared here on stream before. If I can get it back here, where are we at? So this trend line goes, or this trend channel, I should say. I mean, this thing goes all the way back to like 2013.
Right.
Past that. Wow. All right. So 2009. So basically the last, when the most recent secular bull started. And we've been in this channel pretty much the entire time. Blew out of it like right at the end of 2021. Kind of like that was the COVID rush, if you will. And now we're like right back in range, and it's worked out pretty good. Like anytime it's gotten down through the 200 week, it comes right back. So it bounced off of that, went through it in COVID, came right back, and we went through it in October. And guess what? Came right back. So now we're, above the 40 week, and the 40 weeks actually teasing a little turn up, but
nice.
Interesting stuff. But what's going on, chat? By the way, if you have questions for DCC, feel free to post. We're going to get into a bunch of Richard Hart ecosystem coins here in a bit, get his quick takes on them. What's your take on this whole SEC? I don't know. Don't want to call it like a crackdown, but they're playing with a heavy hand versus a lot of these centralized exchanges, and wrecking pretty much Kraken staking. Coinbase is actually Brian Armstrong. He's got his balls about him, and he's like, "We're gonna fight it," which is good for you. I don't think Jesse Powell of Kraken wanted to mess with all the legal fees. He just paid the $30 million and was like, "I'm not messing with this," and done. But I did want to pull up a tweet from Walrus, because I think this summed up on the positive side, since there's a lot of FUD out there. He's like, "Do not let all the FUD with the SEC shake you out. Kraken staking, Paxos, Wells Notice, and Terra are all fairly reasonable and not excessively negative towards actual crypto." I'm going to try and put out some more content on each. But yeah, his thinking is that, the way things are worded, it's not terrible. The headlines are what's worrisome, because people don't really dig into what they're saying. And if they're going after staking on an exchange, that's a lot different than just saying, well, you just can't stake from your MetaMask wallet or anything. That's not what has happened at all. So
yeah, it's a bit of an overreach. I mean, one thing that we knew for, pretty much the whole year, or even actually since last year, was that the only legislation they were probably going to have time to actually go after would be against stablecoins. But they really only have a couple more months of this year before we start getting into the election. And around election time, like the SEC and all these places, like, you don't want to make enemies at that time when people are trying to get voted into office. So basically a good portion, I wouldn't really expect anything crazy until like late 24 or something like that. But we were always going to get a regulation on stablecoins. I think they went after like every stablecoin equally, but realistically, like, they're not going after Coinbase. They're not going after a Coinbase Circle or a BlackRock with USDC. Like, that's not happening. Like, I think they're just kind of like posturing. It's like, oh yeah, screw all these stables and stuff like that. But like, come on, like if there's one stablecoin in bed with the government, it's USDC.
Yeah, so, and BlackRock is right there with them. So.
Right. So it's like it's pretty much a nothing burger. And we knew there was going to be regulation against stablecoins. Now the DeFi staking stuff, I think, is just we're going to talk about it for right now, but then I really don't think they're going to have time to really get enough legislation done in order to really hurt it and stuff like that, because
Okay. Go ahead. I was going to say, what I did like was Gensler, out of his mouth, like words from his mouth, not your keys, not your coins, basically.
Right.
He said that. So he recognizes, the importance, or at least voiced it, of self-custody. And that quote and that tape is going to be played back if they try to move, against DeFi. That's going to just play that thing on loop because he said it and he acknowledged, yeah, your keys, your coins, don't keep them on exchange. Self custody, great. SEC man said it, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean it's basically that. So it's interesting. I mean, it's kind of funny to hear them say that, but more like, in the best case scenario, what they are trying to do is they're trying to take the ability to stake on certain of these platforms away from the crypto native companies, and then they'll give the ability to stake your assets on Fidelity and on E-Trade and whenever these stock or these traditional finance companies go over into crypto, they'll then allow it because these guys are the great custodians. These are the trusted partners. These are the names. Yeah. Citadel, we can trust these guys. These are the right boys. These are the good
Fidelity's doing the whole custody thing as well. What JP Morgan's also got their hands in it, like behind the scenes. So they're setting it up for sure.
Yeah. Cabana, how dare you believe in these crypto companies? How dare you?
Sorry, man.
You should trust your money to traditional finance.
I still have some stonks, but yeah, crypto is the way for sure. Question from Vibra Finance CEO for Dollar Cost Crypto. QNT, XDC, CSPR, HBAR, Algo, liquid staking. Are you stacking some of these coins? Liquid staking for institutional clients is happening this year. The staking ban is FUD.
Just Quant. So Quant, it's looking like that's going to be JP Morgan's basically blockchain and stuff like that. So we're watching that. There's probably going to be some action on Quant and stuff. It's got one of the prettier charts in crypto. In terms of like you basically, if you're stacking it throughout whatever all cycles it's in, I think there's only like 3 coins. I'll see if I knew we were going to talk about this about Quant stuff, I probably would have brought the link. But basically, I think it was Phantom, Dogecoin, and Quant are the only 3 coins in the top 200 or whatever, or the top 100 that basically you always would be in profit, basically. If you've been buying, so if you bought in the previous cycle, you're in profit. If you bought it's pretty interesting.
You have a favorite gem gun to head, for this cycle? I'm sure you've been asked on other streams, but
there's tons of them. I mean, there's a lot of them and stuff. I mean, I'm very deep in the Phantom ecosystem. Always have been. But
yeah, I hear you talking about that a lot on your streams.
Yeah, I've been seeing Corey Costa talking about Phantom a lot, and my head turned. I was like, what? Nice. But I've liked Phantom a lot for a long time. I'm up pretty big on a lot of the altcoins in that ecosystem.
How about GMX, which is all the rage lately?
I like GMX. It's just like, it's fine. It's fine. Like good solid returns, pays you in Ethereum pretty well. It's done. You've gotten some returns on it and stuff like that. So it's at some point it will have a really nice pump. But you really need Ethereum to really move, and really you need the bull market to really start up, so you have the fees to really shoot the hell up and stuff, so people can price it appropriately and stuff. So, but GMX is cool. The thing is like GMX hasn't really done like some crazy amount of X's and stuff like that in terms of the price of the token, mostly because I think a lot of people are probably like gambling with the token here and there, but I think it's a great token. It's essentially done something very special, and we're starting to have like a bunch of tokens that have taken sort of like the underlying engine to allow on-chain, a lot of on-chain trading, and now moving it to other things like derivatives and stuff like that, and sports gambling and all other types of stuff. So there's a lot of like copy and pasting of the background engine of GMX, and then people are putting in like a different kind of car on top, basically.
And there's a fork of that coming to PulseChain. Can't wait for that.
Oh, I haven't heard of it. What are you talking about?
It's quite famous, but yeah. We'll get to that later because I have a list of lightning round coins sure to trigger some of you out there, depending upon what DCC says. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Crypto Stylists, what's going on? Do you think there will be another dip DCC? I think you touched on it a little bit, but this was after a pump, right?
Yeah, after a pump, yeah. I mean, we were still gonna have little dips here and there. Like we could go back to 21, 22K BTC, and then, but we will. I do believe we will go up. We'll do a 2x on BTC, and from there we'll do fucking basically an entire retracement back down. But the altcoins will be pretty. I mean, if you got to imagine, if BTC is up at 3x from its all-time low, and Ethereum's up at 4x. I mean, you can imagine some of these altcoins might be up 5, 7x. I mean, like Hex whose all-time low is, I mean, for this cycle, I'm sorry, is like 1.6, 1.7 cents on the wick low, or maybe most people could have bought it maybe at 2 cents, but that one could do. I mean, it's at the very least going to do exactly what Ethereum did, so that puts us at 8 cents. So it could, I mean, we're looking at probably like 12 to 14 cents at least, and that's without counting all the extra pumps and stuff with like V3 and PulseChain launching Snapshot. I mean, there's like Hex is going to do a lot of multiples, and so will a lot of other coins, but probably more multiples with Hex, you know, from all-time low. So shout out to anyone who bought the bottom.
I know a few that tweeted about it and, you know, had their orders in. I feel, you know, a little bad because I think a lot of people got greedy and were looking for like penny or sub penny.
Yeah.
And a lot of those orders didn't get hit, and now they might be chasing. So that's just the way it goes sometimes, and sucks. But I mean, if you missed it, then you're on the other side of, you know, standing on the ground and, you know, looking at the thing getting away from you. And I'd argue that's almost a worse feeling than having something that goes down a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, I'm happy to report that I bought it 1.9 cents. So
yeah. I think there's some others out there. Jenkins called it around then. I think Dixon Piper did as well. Excuse me, as well. Buck Fiat bought around the 2 cent mark. He posted that in real time. So cool stuff. Cool stuff.
I did it on my stream. I forgot which stream it was, but I basically said, "Hey, you guys have just bought at 1.9 cents."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't it you and Motley? You guys were on a stream, and wasn't Hex at like 3 cents when what was it? The PulseChain sacrifice started or something like that, and you guys rushed to buy it.
Yeah.
Like, was that the price though? It was like 3 cents. It
was like 3 cents. It was either 3 or just under 3, barely under 3. I think
you guys signed off, and then you like came back on or something like that, right?
Yeah, I did a huge purchase at that price, and like, damn, that was a move. That was a nice one.
Because like, by the time the sacrifice came around, it was like 12 to 14 cents average. So yeah, like 4 or 5x, you know, within that time. Yeah. So nice. All right. So what do you have to say to this comment? BTC going under 15K. I mean, that's kind of the floor. I'd take like a big event for that to happen, I think. No?
It would take more. I mean, the only thing that I could see like that, you know, outside of like known unknowns or whatever, but like, obviously there's some Kraken. Like something we noticed really weird with Kraken is so people who don't know, oh my G, what's up, Hollywood? But the bottom's in. But okay, so basically, when Celsius and Voyager were starting to kind of like something was up, like there was a lot. Like instead of smoke, we started seeing fire. A month or 2 before they went down, they started sending out emails to ask, "Hey, you want to become an accredited investor? We can help you with the process." And the reason they were doing that is because if you become an accredited investor, if the platform goes down, you lost your money, and you should be smart enough to know that you lost your money. So there's no recourse, really, right? So like Kraken just recently was doing that, and I was like, huh. Okay. It's not like 100% guaranteed, but it's just like I got fucking Vietnam flashbacks when I when I saw that. So you know, obviously like never keep any money on exchanges and stuff like that, but I'm more about on-chain trading or buying and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of the times, I mean, most of my purchases have not even been with limit orders. I just market buy here and there, or split up my purchases and stuff like that, because a lot of the time, like at least I've noticed and stuff, like usually you're online when it happens, and it's for a specific set of time and stuff like that. But
we've had some nice pumps during the show the past few weeks. I forgot what it felt like, and it's pretty cool. All right, don't be shy, chat. Camera Pleb says, I bought at 48 cents as a pleb and loved it. Anyone higher, don't be shy. I can't raise my hand on that, but I think my look. I guess let's go around the chat. What was your worst buy in Hex? I'll say I think I bought some at like 27 cents. I think that was my worst. DCC, you got one? He's thinking. He's going back in the archives. The thousands of coins in his wallets. He's.
I mean, there are some Hex I bought for a sacrifice here and there, but I just, like, yeah, it's probably like 27 to 31, somewhere in that range. Yeah. But
lots of answers in the chat here, all over the place. Cool. All right, so see, we're all in the same boat together. But this is why you also DCA, because if you're DCAing and you have been while the prices have been so low, we get back to those prices that we're seeing on screen here: 38, 24, 25, 42. I mean, that's the point of DCA. You're golden. So
So I should, I'm not that sour, but I bought the all-time low on Hex, so it's cool.
The adoption amplifier.
Beautiful.
Around those low days, so was day 43 OG, hence the name. DCA down to 8 cents. Good stuff. Now, see, I love seeing that, especially if you started higher and then
you lower the average now.
You came back down, and plus that's not even factoring staking, I'm guessing. So you're just adding more coins on top of that. So outstanding. Camera Pleb, what's up, Toby Wan? Good to see you, my man. Camera Pleb, for the record, I got my average buy back down to single digits. See, good for you. That's what we're talking about, DCA, man. There you
go. Dynamic DCA.
Your mom bought at 49, so that's yeah, 43 OGs in the chat. What's up, my man? How you doing? Did we get to all of the questions? Oh yes, we have a special request here from a man. Lights Out. Could DCC do some bull market moon math for Hex, but in a Mickey Mouse voice?
I could. Well, I'm sort of saving it because I'm going to do a Hex. I'm going to do a Hex. I'm going to try to do a Hex stream tomorrow.
Yeah.
If I'm feeling a little better, I was going to do basically a whole staking strategy video for Hex, but I plan to do an entire moon math episode for Hex next week.
Oh, look out!
Yeah, but it's pretty high. I mean, I'll give you guys a little bit of a hint on it. I'll tell you right now. Like honestly, I think the low end for the pump on Hex is probably $2.
Oh,
$2 would be like a kind of a very conservative all-time high for the cycle for Hex.
Really? See, that's past what I think it can do. I think we can get like $1.5, $1.7, $5, $50. I'm just bearish, I guess. FUD, Cabana FUD, but do the moon math, DCC.
Oh boy, when will you learn, Cabana? You never will get rich with that attitude. You
Kermit the Frog here with
all these plebs. I talked to Richard Hart the other day in Miami, and I told him 100,000X sounds really nice. And you know the price on 100,000X? $5.56.
And that was Mickey Mouse. I am Kermit the Frog. Thank you.
Kermit the Frog. My voice kind of shot out there.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. Clip that.
If we were to get like an actual like the all-time high, I would really like where I would think like this is possible, but this is the top end possible. It'd be 100,000X on Hex, which would be like 5.5 cents. I mean, $5.56, something like that. $5.65, somewhere in that range there.
Why not $5.55? 0.5. Yeah.
0.5. Yeah. Basically, it's the 100,000X basically from the all-time low to this right here. I mean, like it's just a 10X from the last all-time high of 56 cents. So pretty. But basically, I think that. But who knows? The thing. Like there is this guy. Let me see if I have his name. Oh my god. You guys are like fever dreaming right now. You guys. Let me see if I can find this guy really quick. But he had a really interesting sort of funny take and stuff, which just made me laugh.
Briz predicting 100X from the bottom, so it was 1.7 cents to 170. My man, see, great minds. But we're bears, man. We're fudding DCC here. So,
Yeah.
which
So there's this
I
guy
will
called,
happily be wrong if that's the case. Yeah.
So this is a guy called Westcott Laurent. He's a Mexican.
Is he French?
And yeah, he was kind of just like he was kind of just talking shit, like in a good way, like saying like fuck all this shit, like I'm putting it all on fucking PulseX, fuck all that stuff and everything like that. Y'all Hexicans already got your money and stuff like that. I can't diversify. You know, it's a really funny video. It's like 7 minutes long, and like he talks about me and Motley at the end there, and like coffee and a bunch of other people like saying like y'all, these guys are just drowning in pussy or whatever the fuck you say. I never would have found this video. Someone didn't tag me on Twitter, but I've listened to it like 3 times already. It's so hilarious. But he had a really interesting point. You know, it's like y'all OG Hexicans were talking all this shit. Like when you guys were in Hex, you guys were talking about 10,000 X's. Now you're all saying like, yeah, 15X would be pretty nice. Oh boy! Wait, let me try to get my picture back.
Clearly.
Oh boy! A 15X would be really nice from the sack price. And he's like, what happened to the 10,000X? You son of bitches! What happened to the bullshit? Like,
oh man!
Oh, I cracked. I was dying in the car listening to that. Me and Charlie were listening to the whole. That was so fucking funny. Like, but it's kind of got a point. Obviously, like, these coins are liquid, like PulseChain, PulseX, all these things. These are liquid. I mean, you shout out to Maddie. I know Maddie's coming out with something to stake it and stuff, but you're gonna have a larger point of the supply just being liquid. So those multiples will be probably lessened down a little bit, like, but it's still possible to do really a lot of X's from the bottom and stuff. So once they actually do make their first bottom, you know. But yeah.
Oh man, I gotta like clear my throat after trying to do a Kermit and laughing at Mickey here. Didn't know we were getting another special guest, but thanks for bringing Mickey on, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, man. I mean, he gets pretty mad at you guys sometimes. Like, he just is very ashamed that like no, it's just when the market starts getting really hot again, man. I mean, like we're gonna have a really nice pump. Like after we get that 50% correction in the year, after that it's off to the races from there. You know, it just depends if we're in a left translated cycle or a right translated cycle, and this is just for all the people who follow. I almost said Bob Lazar, but Benjamin Cohen and all these guys and Bob Lucas and stuff like that. Like these guys are like they're not sure whether the all time high, like, whether it's going to be a normal cycle or it's going to be a cycle where the all time high will come sooner. So that means we're going to have like a way worse bear market basically. So if we end up having sort of a left translated cycle for that means we get the all time high in 24. If we end up having a regular cycle, we'll end up having the all-time high in 2025, which is really nice. And that means we'll like once we have the all-time highs, that means like we'll have like 4 months from the all-time high where like you can still make money on altcoins, shitcoins, and all that stuff. And I wouldn't be surprised that like PulseChain's really the last rodeo of pumping during that time. But pretty interesting.
Speaking of PulseChain, want to get your take on this. We've tossed this around. I've seen tweets regarding this for months. No, I'm not. Are you?
Do I look frozen?
No, you're great.
Oh, you're frozen on my side for some reason, but I can hear you perfectly.
Terrible.
Huh.
But I don't know what's going on. I look a little weird on YouTube, but I don't know. We can fix that. Yeah. We'll fix it in post.
In post, yeah.
Yeah, audio is good, so we'll just keep it going for all y'all listening. I'll be back. I'm evidently, some people say I'm frozen, but I assure you, looks like everything is technically fine on my end. So I'm going to bring this up and wanted to get your take on it because, like I was saying, we've had tweets like this out there for probably a couple months, and I think Dipcatcher tweeted recently, and then Alex from Hedron tweeted as well. And it's just like a fun, I don't know, what if speculation kind of thing, but just to get your take on it. Richard Hartwin, hot take: after PulseX wallets, you might consider launching PulseX on Ethereum and maybe others. One reason, really integrate swap into the wallet on other chains. MetaMask swap earns way too many fees from plebs. Might as well be PulseChains earning the fees.
Yeah, I can sort of see this. I think this is more of a stage 3 or stage 2 of the PulseChain ecosystem. I'd probably say something like maybe once PulseChain launches, if it ever launches, some people, if it ever launches, like people having heart attacks and shit.
Right.
But not all jokes aside. But once I'd probably say something like 6 to 8 months after the launch of PulseChain, you'd probably have probably decent strategies launching PulseChain on multiple chains, and then creating a really, really trustable bridge. And that's a great way to not vampire attack, but basically allow assets to come onto PulseChain more easily and stuff, and we get more players and stuff. So probably like I would really love to see like maybe an Ethereum, maybe a Matic and an Arbitrum one, or maybe just an Optimism one. Probably Optimism because there's actual coin on. The one thing with Optimism is just like there's no. Arbitrum there's no coin, but just having those, that would bring more big ETH money, and then from there you can just pick and choose where you want to launch it at, and it's another way just to they play around with it, and they like, oh, I can bridge from here, and then now they have their bridge basically. But yeah, and Cabana's frozen.
Yeah, I'm like pixelated on YouTube. I have no idea why everything checks out.
It's a good angle, though, man. It's a good angle.
Yeah. We got the Bill O'Reilly. Evan, we'll do it live. Yeah, that's a classic clip if you've never seen that. So, man. Well, cool. That we got that one off the list. Godwale, have you been witnessing any of Godwale's actions this week?
No, I've kept my eyes closed the whole week.
All right. So he pretty much end staked 2.8 billion hex, and it's just sitting in his wallet. And he takes on that. I mean, it's it's up to him as to what he does, but he's kind of just been this wonderful, benevolent actor of the community. Think he'll restake it, throw him out like.
I think he'll restake some of it. I think most of it, but I'd probably say like 80% of it. I do at some point think Godwale will take profit, but it'll probably be deep into the bull market. I wouldn't be shocked, but who knows? But maybe he never takes profit. That'd be awesome. But interesting.
Yeah, let me pull up the old God wallet here. Yeah. Take a look at this bad boy. I think this is his anyway.
Y'all fucked.
Yeah, 2.87 billion hex. Yeah, he end staked 2 billion and then another 724 million a couple days ago, and they're just sitting there. So, and that was after Gerardo, I guess, good accounted one of those big stakes, if not both. Gerardo. Rico.
Everyone just takes out the pitchforks. Gerardo, how could you, bro? All the yield.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Maddie and Crispy and Briz had a good chat about it. It's like which one would you prefer? It's like the yield or T-shares, whatever. So it's like I don't know. You kind of win to whatever way depending upon your time frame. Right. But you have a preference?
No, I mean, it's not. I mean, if he wasn't paying attention, it would have been bleeding. But like, yeah, I mean, obviously, like that guy's been really cool. So I mean, I really wouldn't want his money to get like lost, because of like human error, I'd imagine, or like maybe he just forgot, or possibly, or maybe that was his plan intent at first. He's like, oh, you know what? I'll increase the yield dramatically in order to incentivize more staking of hex for the T-shirt payout, which might have been a move. I've always that's something even from the most earliest days of hex. I said, the OA is basically our Federal Reserve, and at some point, I wouldn't be surprised that the the Federal Reserve, the OA, doesn't do something like that where they make stakes and just let them bleed out to increase yield.
I'd be down with that. I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah, it's just to compete. I mean, if we're at 36% at the top end there of the yield, and maybe the yield brings us up to like 50 or something like that, it just makes us more competitive. especially once the bull market gets on and there's like tons of people like, holy crap, like the yield farming comes back, which it will.
Yep. Crypto Ewok, I prefer the yield. We don't have to split that with the OA. How about you, chat? What say you on that topic as we move on here? We've been going for close to an hour here. We're just going to do the podcast version because I have no idea why I'm pixelated or whatever. We look great here in the show studio portion, but hey, you want to do a little segment that will ignite your social media and give you love and hate at the same time, depending upon the coin that you speak of?
Right. But I can shit talk any coin or talk good about any coin.
I'm not asking you to
you know,
put down any coin, but I'm asking your opinion because opinions are allowed on this show, and I think they're great.
No, this isn't America. This is America, bro. Free speech and shit. That's out the window, man. Like, nah, man. It's like, yeah, if you ain't pumping my coin, you're my enemy.
Well, let's do a little lightning round with DCC. Last time we did this with Motley, Big K, and a few others. Again, social media got lit on fire, but who cares? Let's start with some, I guess, bigger. I guess I don't even want to call them legacy coins because some of them have only been around for a few years, but
right.
kind of like top 10, top 20, and then we'll get into the Richard Hart ecosystem coins before we wrap up the show. So you have a thought on Chainlink, which seems to be like the popular Oracle play. There's like you have like it's quite polarizing, really. I mean, you have people that absolutely love it and people that say it's dead, it's seen its peak, and what use is there aside from hey, you can stake it now? So.
Which is good. I mean, that was enough to actually get a decent pump on things like Cardano. But with Chainlink, I mean, it's just so fun. It's just really boring. I mean, it is the main oracle of all of crypto. There's no second best at all. It literally it's Chainlink or nothing for the most part. You had the coin do very well in the last bull market in the beginning of it during DeFi summer, and afterwards you had the people that are running Chainlink who are market selling and were selling a Chainlink off the entire bull market until just about the end of 2021. They said we're no longer selling Chainlink because we've sold enough to expand our offices across the world. Oh, nice, thanks, bro. Cool. All right. So I mean,
Sergey's going worldwide.
Yeah. So I will say this though, when that staking did go live on Cardano, it really did help Cardano. That's when the pumps on Cardano really started, and Cardano did a lot of multiples. But the one thing that does hurt, let me see if I can get the price of Chainlink up, or maybe you can put it on your side if you get the price of Chainlink.
I can look up the chart real quick.
Sure, thank you. Toby One Kenobi, I dumped all my link right before BPD. That's funny.
Hey, Chainlink,
I feel you. I did the same thing.
Bit of a run today. Yeah, it's funny. Toby Wan, great minds think alike. I actually had like some of that shiny metal stuff. Sold that, put that into Link, caught a nice run from Link, and then put that in the Hex. That's for whatever reason. I don't remember that. What you got there?
Some 5 ounces of silver, man.
There you go.
Got some silver right here, man. I'll soon own all the property and all the women in the whole world, man. 1 ounce, 1 house.
All the property and all the women. There you go. Chainlink had a nice floor there. Where were we? Like 5.25, and it's kind of just in this channel, but we're right in the middle of it. 762 right now. Yeah.
So I mean, it can do it. I think we're gonna get kind of a repeat of like DeFi summer, not entirely perfect, but I mean, one big thing we're noticing is just it's a lot of on chain sort of things. So Chainlink might just do really good in the first half and then just kind of lag behind, be boring as hell in the second half of the bull market. But there's a pump in this and stuff. Just personally, it's not my cup of tea. I just don't like it personally. Right. Yeah, it's just not my cup of tea. But it is important for all of crypto. It is literally one of the main infrastructures of all of crypto. So you can't shit on it. It is very important.
All right, there's DCC's take on Chainlink. Next up, Tone Vase's favorite altcoin, Polka dot.
Dot. Oh my gosh.
What say you on the dot?
I like Dot a lot. Basically, Dot is one of the 2 players in the Layer Zero Wars, which is between Dot versus Cosmos. And I would say there's a lot more altcoin plays on Dot. And for me personally, I have my money on Kusama still. So I'm KSM fucks. Dot takes you out to dinner and marries you.
I remember we talked about Kusama years ago that Dave Levine stream, and you're high on it then, I think, and yeah, still high.
Yeah, I mean, we made a lot on that coin. I mean, put up KSM on the because look, Dot's all time low was basically $2.88, and it pumped all the way to like $40. Not bad. KSM, what KSM did is, some people were able to buy for 50 cents. We got into it at around $7. And it went up to $519.
Wow, there it is.
Yeah.
May of 21.
Now, I do respect Dot and everything like that, but for me, like Dot had all the VCs, and Kusama was a lot more of a community. Like for me, what's made me money always in crypto is I use something called the box, right? L7 loser, right? My Pepe's over there, in the background of my clock. And it's these 4 points that I always look at the coins, right? It's who's the founder, who's the team, what kind of community does it have, product market fit, what does it do, all that stuff, and major investors basically from there. And one thing that I noticed with Kusama, it was a lot more of a homegrown sort of like more YouTubers were backing it because they were able to get into it much earlier. Dot, on the other hand, you had to be damn near Chinese and had access to Chinese redemption bonds. If I remember correctly, one redemption bond at the time was $500, and then it was stock split 100x, and then it came out for $5, and then it dumped down to about $2 and some change, and then from there it kind of pumped up, as you see on the chart, with Dot and stuff. So I like Dot. I made some money on Dot, but I made more money on Kusama. Now, one interesting thing is that this time around, we're probably actually going to see some nice, decent pumps, fucking finally, on the Kusama and Dot ecosystem for their altcoins. One successful thing for why people will stay around is if you actually have coins that also pump, right? Solana, trash. Like Solana's altcoins, haram, trash, basura. A la verga, wait. Like it's dog shit. Like nothing. Like at most you catch it. Like we didn't get into crypto for a 3x. I don't get out of bed for a 2x, you guys. This is an old thing I said in the last bull market where guys keep saying that to me in my community. I was like, DCC doesn't get out of bed for a 3x. That's right. It's the sort of thing like we're in it to try to make 15, 30, 100x's. You know what I mean? And a lot of these coins, they just didn't move that much, and it was mostly because there was people who got into all the projects very early on, and they were just market dumping. Now, a lot of these coins that belong to the team as well as the VCs have been coming out, and it's dumped the crap out of the prices, which is good because then from there you can actually get real members who actually believe in the projects to pick up the coins, and then if we get a run, you can actually see some action in the altcoins, which translates into higher prices in the L1. This is why something like Phantom did over 100x in its plus. I think it did closer to almost 200x, but it basically went from like sub 3 cents up to like I think it went $3.60. So it did 100. It did 100x, not including all the altcoins and all the yield farming and all this stuff. Like very likely what we're going to see probably on PulseChain, probably a little bit more than 100x, but from all time lows. Yeah, which is awesome, So I am bullish on Kusama. I'm still holding a Kusama. I don't have a Dot bag, but I'm holding a really nice Kusama bag, and I'm yielding on it. I'm nowhere near Hex yield, but 21% on average on my stake. So pretty good.
Nice. 2v1 just look swap link at 12.15 for that under a penny. That plus staking yield, one of my best trades ever. Nice one, 2v1. That's awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. What other top 10, top 20? How about Aave, man?
Aave, fucking A, dude. I like very important. It's very, 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 very important. I feel like Aave just could have fixed its tokenomics models from back in the day. Like it did very well. It is probably it's between Aave, Hex, and Shiba Inu as the highest return coins of the last bull market. And people don't know, you can't tell on the price chart, but basically what happened was with Aave, it was called ETHLend, and it basically went to fairy dust. In 2017, I was invested in ETHLend and Salt because I knew this whole trend of borrowing and like even in 2017, I had an inkling to like something's going to happen with this sector. Like people want to, it makes sense, right? If we're creating these financial services, we need a place to like borrow on our crypto. Makes sense, right? So that needed to be done just always a tad bit early. So what happened was whatever money I had in ETHLend, it went to zero basically. Like it was so bad. Like back on Binance, like imagine that you like on Binance you used to need like $20 to take coins off. If you didn't have $20 of a coin, you basically couldn't do anything with it. And then and it was so like dead in the water that like Binance wouldn't even like turn the dust into Binance token. So like ETHLend was so dead in the water. So what I did one day is like I sold all my salt that I had left, put it into like ETHLend, and it still wasn't enough money, so I just left it there. So so basically then from there the founder of Aave and stuff like that just kept trucking along, and then ETHLend just giga pumped. I'm talking about to the point where like imagine you have less than $2 and it turned to like 8,000.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was like my fair, like basically that turned to 8 Gs for me in terms of just like how much it pumped. So imagine it's like dead in the water. I just buy like a couple dollars of it and stuff, and then I check back and it starts pumping. And then what they do from there is that they do a reverse stock split. So they ended up giving themselves like I forgot, like a 50x or 100x less tokens, and from there they essentially changed the name from ETHLend to Aave, and then from there what ended up happening is it dumped because psychologically speaking, you people like stock splits, not the other way around. So anytime that you let's say you have 100 tokens, and then I like, oh, you sell the same amount of tokens or percentage of supply, but you only have one now instead of 100. People don't like that. People like to feel richer. It's that whole unit bias effect that people have. So we were able to tell our students like, hey, bro, like I'm selling all my Aave right now before the merge or before the upgrade, and then it dumped down. We brought back in and it pumped for us, and then it became a big nothing burger. But it is becoming more and more important, and it's expanding onto the other L2s where people can use it more, where it's effective. What kind of killed Aave for the most part was basically get ETH gas fees. This is kind of the big thing with like synthetics and a bunch of these other tokens from DeFi Summer 1. Other than Uniswap, which you had to trade shit coins, that was like if it's like food, shelter, sex, or whatever, it was water. Basically, like you needed Uniswap, and like even with the fees we're paying, like you needed Uniswap to trade shit coins. So like you had to do that. But some of these other luxuries, people just wouldn't do it and stuff. So it became relegated to only the whales in Ethereum actually using Aave on Ethereum. So I like Aave. I think it'll do pretty well. I think it's just like Chainlink. It's probably going to do really well in the first half, and then just like nothing burger unless it actually does an upgrade to its system. Maybe it allows more burning or does something to incentivize the use of the token more.
Yeah, we mentioned like these lending / leverage platforms, and PulseChain's going to have a few, if not right out of the gate within the first couple of months. So what is your feeling? Because we got, I guess, liquid loans is kind of like a fork off liquidity. We got Aave, I guess, getting forked with fiat. We got GMX and Famous. How are you feeling about these types of projects over on PulseChain? Like I guess I'm guessing because it's going to take volumes to get these things to move. So, it's not just going to instantly come over and, hey, magic. But how do you feel
again with this fucking FUD, bro? Oh my God, dude. What happened to you in this bear market, dude? Who hurt you? Tell me. Who hurt you?
My lettuce hands got hurt by the hex. No, I'm just kidding. Or
who hurt you?
Poopy hands with Somi or whatever his name is that does those hilarious videos. So
well, I am very bullish on fiat, Famous, and all these coins, liquid loans and stuff, because these are financial services and sort of things that we need for the Hex community, but we like basically Aave wasn't really there to serve the Hex community at all. And on top of that, the gas fees are just horrendous, dude. I remember when was this? Quarter 1 of 2021. I remember I did like a whole expose on like, here, this is how you use Aave and stuff. I was borrowing on it, and then literally, I paid like $500 or $800 of gas fees to borrow like $100 or something like that. And I was like, oh my god, you know, it was unusable basically, right? And the beautiful thing is that the fees are going to be extremely almost nothing that crazy on Aave, and I think the tokenomics for like the famous tokens, the fiat tokens and stuff like that are a lot better and actually incentivize people to hold the token, and then stake it and stuff. So you're gonna have a lot of more long-term hodlers, and on top of that, when you have a lot of people there, they're willing to take chances to borrow money. I think it's all about incentives as well as like I think they're properly incentivizing token holders, and I think the tokens will do very well. Obviously, Aave and all these tokens did very well in the first half when they were free. I mean, I remember when gas fees were very cheap. I mean, like I think you could borrow an Aave and it would cost you like $5, and then it went to $500. Right. So during that time when it was $5, it was just like a rocket upwards. Right. So I kind of suspect the same sort of thing for these tokens over time. Obviously, they're not going to launch. I think if I remember correctly, they're launching 2 to 3 months after PulseChain launches.
Yeah. Liquid loans, I know, I think that's the plan. And then, I think fiat. Yeah. Fiat is too, although they're doing e-fiat, I think here shortly, maybe within a few weeks. Q1, I think, is still the target. So
end of the month or so, or before the Ides of March.
Yeah. And Buck, I guess, is working on a third coin, so anxious to see what he's got up his sleeve. I think that's March 3rd. I think he'll announce that. Maybe we'll try to get him on March 3rd because I think that's 1 week where we have an opening for the show. So bullish, I guess, is the word on those PulseChain ecosystem coins long term. And so I am too, man. I can't wait. Those are three of my favorites. I think that kind of answers Toby One's question of some of the coins I'm most bullish on. Do you have anything that you're really looking forward to on PulseChain aside from what you just mentioned? And obviously Hex, but any other thing strike you before we get on to the next one?
Right. Trying to think something I haven't mentioned before.
I put you on the spot. Sorry.
I know, but that's good. It's live stream. It's supposed to be like that. I would probably say that the NFT marketplace and stuff like that, like with
like the Mintra.
With Mintra, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that one. Mostly because whether you like it or not, NFT people wanted to do NFTs, but it is an interesting place because that will be the main marketplace for the financialized NFTs that are coming on the future with PulseChain and a lot of these projects. You're going to be able to buy, just like it's like the HSI auctions. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that eventually somebody has, you can just buy them there, or like there's other versions of like wrapped tokens where there's markets on Phantom where people buy locked stake positions that are NFTs, and they're just selling them online. So you could actually have an NFT side, and then you actually legitimately have like a financialized NFT market as well. So it can do some there can be some numbers there. So it's like, regardless, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of NFTs myself personally. I mean, like, just being for real, like most NFTs are just terrible investments. But yeah, and yeah, there's an NFT marketplace on Power City as well and stuff like that. But
Watsas are great NFTs too.
Yeah,
just saying.
But it's just that sort of thing. Is like, that is a product like. So there's there's the box, right, which is like what I use to look at a coin, right? And then there's the other one, which is basically I like to call the L1 starter pack, which is like these are like the basics things that you need for an ecosystem for an L1 to work, which is an L1 token, which is the gas token. You need a Uniswap DEX and stuff, so that'd be like your PulseX. You would need some sort of Aave, borrowing and lending protocol, and that also counts with the GMX stuff and everything. So leverage, basically, you need leverage. And then 4, you would need an NFT marketplace. These are like the 4 things that you need for an ecosystem to like. These are like the bare minimums for an L1 to like actually function and work. And then from there, you get the rest of the extras. But that's kind of like the 4 things that are needed, and you can actually categorize a lot of things underneath like 3 of those 4 points.
There you go. What about Hexel and PulseChain? We'll get to that at the very end. We're saving the good stuff for last. Just quick shots before we start to wrap up here. Land the plane. Texan token. What do you think?
It's cool. I haven't looked into it like a lot. It just depends what price the token comes. I don't know. I don't even know if it's out. I'm so sorry. Like
Yeah, it is. It got the
oh, it is.
airdrop.
Yeah. So it just all depends. I mean, it's since it has a community in the Hex community, it's not like well, I almost said the name. It's not like some other tokens kind of attacked and stuff where there's actually.
I mean, I was going to ask you about that one and name it, but we can.
All
get
right,
there.
So Zen, yeah, for sure. I'm not the biggest fan of Zen.
Well, and why not DCC?
There's something that we teach in the Citadel that's called "When Retards Fly." I mean, like at some point, probably Zen will have a pump and stuff, a little micro penis pump, and when I see that things are changing or the emissions of like Zen are chilling out, I might buy some it pump and then I'll sell it off and then buy other stuff. But with the Texan token, it's since people like it so much already and it's launched already and it's attached to the Hex community, there is a group of coins that are going to pump with the snapshot as long as we get a decent announcement or the anticipation, an anticipation of the snapshot for Hex, and it will be like Hex, Hedron will be the main winners of that pump, but you will have like Pulse Doge and you'll have maybe Zen. I don't know. Maybe Zen. You'll have a little bit of these other tokens that are like Hex affiliated. So they've got to be Hex affiliated tokens, community members for them because the Hexicans are because the entire backbone of the PulseChain launch is basically 80% Hexicans, 20% shadow users, and then over time, maybe over 2-3 years, then it'll be more of like. I think the Hexicans might become like a 40% of the population, where we have 60% kind of like outside normies, where they're only using specific things on the ecosystem. So, but initially, the backbone of the ecosystem is always going to be the Hexicans. But over time, we'll probably become a smaller portion of the population. But not anything time soon. I'll set my calendar for 8 years.
I was about to say, 8 years could be bullish.
Yeah.
I'm keeping these charts on the screen because my video is wrecked. Evidently, like we have like this major windstorm here. Not sure if I'm hardwired, but maybe somehow it's affecting the internet. So that way my video isn't affected that much, and you get to look at beautiful charts. So that was Texan and Zen. How about the Pulse Bitcoin ecosystem that Gunther and company?
I never got the whole thing. I mean, a lot of people. I don't know why people hate him so much. It's because I tried to stay out of all the drama and stuff like that. I'm just in my own little bubble.
Oh,
but
yeah.
like from what
I think people just disliked, I guess. And I like Gunther. I mean, we're friendly. We messaged back and forth and stuff like that. I think Hexkins didn't like the fact that maybe he came on this show or other shows and was talking, good about Hedron or another coin, and then proceed to let go of those bags, right after that. And I think that may have rubbed people the wrong way. And then, of course, now he's like into this. And I guess Richard Hart at some point, dissed Pulse Bitcoin. And then that became a whole thing of the Pulse Bitcoin community versus Hex. And I'm just like, come on, guys. Like, we can each like our own things. But Richard kind of just poured gas on that fire, I think.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't have in my studio. I don't have the Thanos gauntlet, but basically, in PulseChain, RH is God.
Yes.
And if he don't like you, he can fuck you. That's all I'm gonna say. So it's like I'm just saying, and probably that's not gonna happen. But like, if you play with fire, you're gonna get burned. A magic liquidity wall will appear, and wow, my token can't pump anymore. Oh boy, how did that happen? Wow. And then your token can't fucking pump at all, and then eventually your people get fucking despair because everyone else's coins are pumping. They start selling your coins off. They pull a liquidity pair off, and then it starts free falling. And then as it starts recovering, they add another liquidity wall, and then now it can't pump again, and now it's even lower. Oof, 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 oof.
MICKEYMOUSE. Mickey Mouse. All right, there we go. Yeah. There you go. T-Bird's clipping it.
There you go, man. But it's just kind of is what it is. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I mean, let's say if I was making a token, right? Like, why would I be shit talking and fucking creating all this drama? I'd be like, you want to be kumbaya, not causing like trouble and problems and stuff like that, you know. But at the end of the day, everyone's coins and money is their own prerogative. At the end of the day, like some people need to sell their tokens because you know, the financial problems or some whatever. It just is what it is. Yeah, but I mean, obviously, Richard doesn't like shit coins and stuff like that, or coins that take away from the pump. Because I think mostly the reason why he probably got. I'm going off of memory here. I'm sorry, you guys, but if I remember why a lot of people got mad at Pulse Doge and stuff. It's because Hex started running and then Pulse Doge started running, and then the Hex runs kind of stopped because people were aping into Pulse Doge, which you should just step back for a second and think like Pulse Doge. For a second. I mean, I get meme coin. We need a meme coin. So it's
and then there was like a sub battle with Hedron versus Pulse Doge. And then people selling Hedron for Pulse Doge, or you know, and then back and forth. And then you had like Silver versus Gunther. And it was just like, oh my gosh.
Shout out to my boy Silver, bro. I love Silver.
Yeah. It was just like, oh, can't we all just get along? And now, of course, you know, I thought, you know, things are going to get better in a bull market, but now we have Sammy Chica versus HVid PulseX in a mud wrestling contest.
Yo, what's the over and under on that fight?
I got Sammy minus 300. Somebody needs to create what they need to do for Twitter. You creative Hexkins out there, create a boxing match or UFC fight poster for Sammy versus HVid PulseX. Somebody, or just get Chat GPT to do it. Hexologist kills it with that stuff. And post those on Twitter, man. Let's have a contest.
If Sammy's serious about fighting and stuff like that, I know a ton of UFC fighters right now. I could get her trained. I'm betting 5 billion Hex on this fucking fight right now. Look at the UFC training center.
I think we'd have to have like specific rules against like hair pulling and things like that. And yeah,
then it's not a girl fight then. All right, never mind. I'm out.
Well, I don't know. Like, are we doing like boxing, UFC, or just like any no holds barred? Because you know what's allowed. What were the official rules of a mud wrestling match? I don't even know. Do they have rules?
I mean, we're just joshing around here and stuff like that.
Yes.
But the thing is, like, I don't know the whole like story in the background. Like, I mean, I'm inclined to believe Sammy, of course, because she's been around forever. I've never seen her.
I mean, she posted the interaction, like you can read it, and I thought it was a overreaction from, I guess, HVid or whatever her name is, and I was just like, really, like we're spatting over this. Like, let's all get along, ladies. But whatever. I would expect this like a month or two ago with Hex at 2 cents, but you know, not on the way back up, but whatever. It is what it is.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, the thing is like, I mean, the girls should just get along and stuff like that. I mean, I love to see it. Like, I remember seeing some of the original girls inside of Hex. Yeah. You know,
speaking of Valerie T-Share, let's have Valerie. Let's have her be the special guest referee. We'll WWE this thing up. All right, so include Valerie T-Share in the fight poster, whoever's making one. There you go.
Yeah, I follow some of the OG girls and stuff like that, and I just love to see like them traveling. Like I remember like they're working and stuff like that, and then now I just see them traveling to Rome and France and stuff like that. I love that. That's really cool, dude. Yeah, it's nice, you know. Like the girls of Hex and stuff. They deserve that, you know. They're.
I always see Crypto Nomad on her Instagram feed. She's always eating something.
Oh yeah,
wonderful.
She's got a food blog, man. Like, but she's she travels everywhere.
Yeah. And Richie Rich, he always, I mean, he's here in the States, but he posts a bunch of good food pics and stuff like that. Oh, Lights Out wants to claim the ref spot. I don't know. I was trying to keep it all ladies, so maybe you know, Valerie T-Share might give you permission.
How many people are live watching right now? Like, what's the count? Right now?
Close to 200, 185. Yeah.
All right, fine. I'll say some ridiculous things right now. Why not? Obviously, you guys know I'm in the red pill, right? And shout out to Rolo, Tomasi, shout out to Fresh and Fifth, shout out to all the guys and stuff like that. Now, obviously, I'm not down with the simping shit that a lot of Hexicans are doing.
Oh boy, I agree.
There's a lot of fucking simping shit. Now, there's something that I said privately a long time ago. Fuck, man. I shouldn't say this.
Say it. Say it, Mickey. We can do it in a Mickey Mouse voice. It might come off less harsh.
All right. But fuck, man. This is going to get damn. I love you guys. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Hard teaching.
But it's true. Okay, look. the higher the hex price goes, the more people come into the hex community, right?
Yes.
Right? So if you're the hot shit today, there's going to be a hotter girl tomorrow.
But speaking truth, I don't see anything
Now,
offensive about it. Yeah.
I'm not going to say who told me this, but like the higher the hex price goes, the prettier the girls get. What they told me. I don't know. Like, I love my hex women and men equally, you know, like they're my family. But that's what happens. Like, the price chart goes up and to the right. You start attracting. I mean, it's just like, you know what it is. It's, you know, start sipping. Simp down. I'm starting with simp down. But it's kind of ridiculous. It's this whole thing. Like, all right, this is an overall thing I've noticed, and like I'll say this on my own stream as well. But like most crypto women, oh fuck, I'm gonna be such a misogynist now. God dang it. But
do it.
Okay, but basically, my God. All right, so basically, most crypto women like they spoil. They literally spoil like milk. Like they last like a cycle. They last like literally just a cycle, and they're washed out for the most part. That's what I've noticed. Now there is like legitimately there's some that actually stay around for a long time. I've noticed a lot of hex women stay around for a long time, and I respect that. But it's just this whole thing that ends up happening is that you jump into the space. Obviously, you're going to get looks and attention and stuff because of how you look. And then what happens is crypto stressful. It ages everybody, me included. Everybody just gets uglier as you stay longer in the crypto space. It's just the no sleeping. You're looking at charts all day. You're in front of a computer screen. You're streaming. And then what happens is the next crop shows up. And the thing is, if you just rest on your laurels or your looks and stuff, what ends up happening is that you're going to get outcompeted. And then the next attention whore, how they would call them, comes in and stuff. And it's very uncomfortable to say that and stuff like now.
But, are we not seeing it with PulseChain? I mean, we're seeing it right now. So it's like, it's fact. It's not like, you know.
It's true. Cryptogram isn't here anymore. Shut up, Chris. Ooh. That's hilarious. But it's just is what it is. Like, I will say this though, like the amount of women in hex, like we have like the highest non-attrition rate. We actually keep most of the when someone would join, and then most guys as well. Like we keep we have like literally the most solid community in crypto. But typically in any crypto space, just look at any chick that's popping, right? They're not popping the next cycle. They're not at all.
Well, speaking of popping chicks in the hex community who have been around for a long time, Crypto Stylist makes an excellent point. To be fair, the same happens to male streamers.
Yep. Yeah, of course. Yes. I mean, you like, dude. There's tons. There's guys who had like this great production quality. We're talking about hex, and like they're gone. They're not streaming anymore. You know, like, yeah, man. It just is what it is. Like, I mean,
hot chick capitulations.
I want to chart that shit. This is why we say, you know, in hex you can make wife changing money. I'm just saying.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, you know, I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah. It's always good to see Crypto Stylist Benny Blanco.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen her on stream in a while. We'll have to get her back on. Crypto Stylist. Yeah. Let's do it sometime in the next month or couple. I know. I'm pretty sure she is busy lady traveling around. Let's see what else we got. Yeah. So let's get back to some RH coins before we wrap this thing up. Hedron and Icosa. So what are your thoughts on that?
Say that. I'm so sorry. Say that again. I couldn't hear you.
Hedron and Icosa.
Oh, Icosa. Okay. Yeah, I like them. I like them a lot. Obviously, I'm more of a Hedron guy than I am Icosa. But if my Hedron, I get yield on it and stuff, and then I take it and stake it. So, for me, Icosa really is just a staking coin. Just get the yield while it's gangster right now. But,
you like staking your Hedron?
Yeah, a bit of it. I never stake all of it.
Yeah,
like
I like staking it myself as well. So
yeah,
if I can stake it and I'm not doing anything with it, I'm not bidding on HSIs or something. Why not? Do that. The only thing is like the term length. You got, depending on how much you're locked in for 90, 180,
270
days.
Or something. Yeah. So I mean, the way I play that is I have a 50% staking rule. I keep 50% liquid, 50% not. It's staked. And then once that comes into term, I then take the yield and then stake the Icosa on that side. And then I just perpetually keep staking on my Icosa. I really don't hold any liquid Icosa really. And then, I mean, I also have the, I created a bunch of those NFTs and stuff. The
Watsas.
The
Those
ultimate
could be
game.
some of the most valuable NFTs years from now. You never know. I think it was Michael Morton had a good tweet about that. And he was like, yeah, you know, people looking at, you know, everybody else's NFTs, you know, wouldn't it be cool one day if, you know, oh man, look at that guy's Watsa bag. Woo. So there's some nice ones out there too.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I was telling people make like 10 or 20 of them and stuff. Whatever amount you were going to do, just, you know, just make multiples. That way you could DCA out if you ever need to take some profit here and there. I think that's a smart way to do. I know a bunch of guys that just did one stake and I'm like, oh, goddamn, bro. Oof. Not the best strat, but it just is what it is. But no, I like those tokens a lot. I think Hedron, it's probably the most symbiotic token in the Hex ecosystem to Hex right now currently. Yeah, I mean, I had somebody argue with me that like Hedron was probably the biggest airdrop ever to Hexians all time, like how much it was worth and stuff like that. But there is some OG Hexicans that just don't like it or don't get it still, but that's fine.
Steph loves to dump his. So.
Oh, I love it, man. Beautiful. I mean,
he's not shy about letting other people know about it either. So.
Oh no, I'm glad.
And I think Gunther does the same as well. So. I mean,
them doing that made me so much money. Thank you, you guys. I really appreciate Gunther, Steph, chef's kiss. Thank you. No, seriously, like,
yeah. Briz made 60. Very nice.
Sheesh, Briz.
So you went for quantity over size, I guess, perhaps.
Yeah. So. Something about the motion of the ocean, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that too. I see where you're going. Mind out of the gutter, DCC. All right.
But, you know, Hedron's really nice. We got a lot of our guys to buy around 11, 12 on Hedron recently on the dip and stuff, and we're good profit on it. It's a token that I like a lot. One thing that, can you put a Hedron on the chart, actually?
Oh, yeah. Let me find it here. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. This coffee's starting to hit me, man. Whoa. I'm getting my second win right now. Hulkamania going wild.
Brother. Got the elimination chamber tomorrow night.
Oh, nice. But yeah, it basically hit its recent all-time low at 10. Basically, what we've kind of found out about Hedron is that it basically unless like it can actually have these nice pumps in different 2 hex, but it needs hex to be significantly higher in price for pumping in order for it to get past its all-time high. I think its all-time high was like 71, I think, if I remember correctly, on Hedron. And I think recently, we only went as high as like 60, if I remember correctly, 60 something basically on the price. Still a really great move because I mean it went it was like down to a low of like, what was it, like 10, or I'm sorry, I think it went as low as 8 or so, and then it pumped up to those prices and stuff. So if Hex is just kind of muddling along and stuff, like Hedron can really do these counter moves or having these really nice pumps and get multiples on itself, and then it dumps back down. But the interesting thing is, like, before we had the liquidity wall put up on Hedron by some Magic OA. Magic away. I mean, Hedron was at 70, was in basically going 60 going to 70, and it was pretty much on track to go to like 140. Yeah, but liquidity wall stopped it. It dumped back down, and now it's done these beautiful moves, and like you can make some decent money on Hedron. Hedron's really like it. You could trade it. You can make profits. It's been one coin that like I've been able to accumulate quite a lot of. I like Hedron quite a lot. The interesting thing is when Hex is pumping, I think we'll finally be able to break its all-time high, which is interesting. So it just depends on where Hex is and some of the bullish news that comes out for Hedron. But I am very bullish on Hedron.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hex sailing, how do you roll your Hedron and Icosa stakes? I mean, I would probably just direct you. There's tons of good videos out there. Sloth, Maxim.
Shout out to Sloth.
Yeah, both of those guys.
You say Hedron 3 times, he appears.
Hedron, Sloth. No, man. But he'll chime in the chat. Oh, hey, Hedron. What? But let's see. Alex has something up his sleeve, building something bullish AF for Hedron and Community. Yeah, I mean, he did tease staking Community. I'm not sure, how that'll go. But I guess just a general question for you. At what point do you think there's too many coins like around Hex? Do you think like they start to take away from Hex? Has it already happened? I mean, we've only mentioned, Hedron Icosa here, but like, what about Maximus and that whole ecosystem that Dip Catchers built, and others? Do you just get to a point you throw your hands in the air and you're just like, all right, man, like we have enough. Let's just let the cool things be, or the more the merrier kind of thing.
Well, it does get to be a bit of a clusterfuck, really, honestly, but it's just the sort of thing. People always need a new coin, a new action, and people are just like, people are legitimately investing, but they also it also scratches this huge itch to gamble as well, and make these quick money X's and stuff like that. So, yeah, it does get to be a lot. I mean, you'll have seasons where like, if PulseChain is not pumping, then most things aren't going to be pumping in the ecosystem. And the coin that'll probably start the pumps will either be like P-Hex or PulseChain. And then from there, like, you're going to have rotations where this coin's pumping, or maybe PulseChain's pumping, and then that pumps everything else. And then that starts this whole trigger. You're going to have this little like boom, 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 these pump this. You're going to have this wave seasons and stuff where everything gets a pump. And then people will then invest. Well, this coin hasn't pumped yet and everything's pumped. And then it will pump because everyone believes that everything else will pump. And it's like the pump, right? So that's pretty much what's going to happen, is that it goes from like the majors down to the middle caps, and then it'll go down to the micro caps and small caps, and then from there money will then consolidate back into one of the two majors, which will be either eHex or PulseChain, and then we'll probably get a significant dip, and then that's basically how a L1 season starts and commences, and usually it dumps down, but it ends up having a lower high, and then it probably will coil like outside. Once we're like guesstimating of like how many things are coming out, depending. So let's just say PulseChain launches, and then 2 months later we get liquid loans and we get the rest of the stuff, right? So we could probably look at like maybe the PulseChain pumping like 4 months before we actually have a major like fucking death crash. And then probably like an additional 3 to 4 months of recovery. You'll have a little pumps in there and some micro caps, and then another season will start basically. So you'll always end up having like 2 seasons a year, as long as the bull market continues on. And that's kind of like what I'm seeing right now for the pattern on PulseChain so far, outside of it being existing yet. So I can talk about ratio trading, I could talk about this, but like I really don't get into price and stuff, just because like I want the coin actually to come out. I want to see the liquidity. There's a lot of things I want to see, and I don't really trust, or I've never even trusted or looked at the test nets. It's total bullshit, basically.
A lot of moon math over there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm King Hopium. Like, I sell it raw. I've got the finest uncut hopium in the world, man. Like, I created the word moon math, but like, it's just like I need actual things in reality, or in the metaverse, or in the ether, before like I'll give moon math numbers. Like, I can do moon math numbers, and realistically, like, oh yeah, like $2, maybe $5 at max. Like $2 is probably more likely where we can get on Hex. But if things are really bullish and things are going bananas, and maybe we get a list, we actually get like an exchange listing for Hex, or we start getting like properly treated correctly as a coin community, then yeah, $5 is possible. I mean, my highest point for Hex would be probably like $25 in terms of like,
man.
But like, you guys just everyone calm down.
So
calm down tits.
I have this question marked here from Danny Boy, and we can debate this, but Danny Boy asks, how do I prove to my onboard that market cap is a vanity metric and that Hex can go to insane dollar amounts like DCC suggested there? I say no way, or at least not like that, because market cap, in my opinion, does matter. And I've had, back and forth with people on Twitter. But what would you say to this question? It matters until it doesn't, is my thing.
Yeah. It's the sort of like Market cap's important. Market cap's important. I'd say most coins market cap sort of things are relatively. It's a good it's an okay measure for crypto. But as more and more of the world is more and more coins are more of a DeFi coin versus an actual like exchange token. This is where like the whole market cap, it's more liquidity and market cap. Like you have to take more things into account and stuff like that. So it's not it's more of like you have to take it all in and stuff, and you also have to like grade things on a curve, basically. No pun intended.
$25. That's why we love DCC. I mean,
Yeah,
like a
imagine
couple
it hits, bro.
dollars. And
Imagine it hits, and then like we're on the street, like we play this, and I'm like, dang, like yo,
yeah.
I'm out here.
So
Sheesh.
yeah, I'm conservative. I'm the fudster. I say, you know, $1.50 ish this next cycle. But you know what? If things take off and you get the highest of stakes combined with a PulseChain successful launch and the bull, you know, goes back into full bull mode,
Yeah,
multiple dollars are on the table. I'm not going to say it can't happen. I'm just, you know, I like to be conservative in my calls anyway.
right.
I think like the first run, I think I called for like 12.5 cents by I forget what time frame it was, and you know, we 4x'd it or whatever. So
Yeah,
cool. I'm happy to be wrong, thrilled to be wrong if that's the case.
I know it's such a nice thing, this position to be in. We're like, bro, I don't care. Like, it's like if I'm wrong, like oh, and like let's just say I said like oh, it's $1.50 is the top and stuff, and then it goes to like $5. Like
Darn.
oh my god, so wrecked, bro. I'm so wrecked right now.
Question from Ewok, is anyone minting the weight token, or is it a waste of time? Those guys are doing a lot of stuff, good stuff with the on ramping. Yeah, OX Coast guys are killing it, at least on paper. You know, I'm always like, show me the money and the final, you know, onboarding for all these countries. You know, the crypto onboarding that they're saying they're progressing so much with. Looking forward to having those guys on stream at some point when they're good and ready. But I like reading about it. As for the weight token, you know, Big Kurkowski has mentioned this before. If you have multiple wallets that are eligible, it all comes down to the launch of PulseChain, you know, and how many weight you get, plus I guess your bonuses. So maybe, you know, do a wallet just to make sure you have some. And if you think you have a good feeling as to when PulseChain launches, you know, maybe save some of those wallets. You know, if as long as we don't go straight to mainnet, you'll be okay, and then you'll be in that V3 window. But I don't know. I wouldn't want to mess around too much with it. I mean, it's free coins. I think you have to do like a couple of gas transactions, if I remember correctly. So that's the only thing. Like, be mindful of the gas prices at the time. So maybe try to do that so you're not wasting valuable ETH and trying to claim this stuff. But yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong in claiming it. I claim some of it, but I think it's also pretty cheap too. So you can buy a ton of it for a cheap price right now. And if it takes off, hey, you have any take on weight?
I'm just waiting on weight.
There you go. He's
Like,
playing the game. He's playing the game. He's trying
I mean, why not? I mean, the thing is, I'm always careful with like sack wallets or sorry, I'm brain fart. Sack wallets or like your hex bag. Like, I don't mind being a little late to the party on some stuff because it's just the financial risk of like doing some signature transaction on your wallet and then just getting rugged. Man, forget that. Like, now, if it's proven itself, it looks like it's proven itself to be a good player and stuff like that. But
yeah.
It's just like I'm very like I mean I made it by the skin of my teeth to the 10x on Hedron. I really waited. I really waited because it's serious. Like you have to be really careful. Like you spend a lot of time and energy and money to make your bags and stuff like that, and for you just to get rugged, god damn, dude, I don't know. That's just
Well, what's great about this community is we also have Pulse Police, so they pretty much vet most of these things that are actually live. So they'll give the okay on a Texan, on a weight and whatnot. So they have a great Telegram room. So I would encourage anybody to go in there. If you have a question about, you know, is something a scam or has it been vetted, go to the Pulse Police Telegram room, check it out, do a search. I think communities in there and pretty much anything that you can think of that's at least out. You know, they've done a review on it and or posted it. So another great resource from this outstanding community. So
Beautiful.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Didn't CowSwap get like hacked recently? I think they did.
One of the swaps did. Was it CalSwap though?
It was just CowSwap. Yeah, it was Cow. I think they stole like I forgot how many millions, but they stole some liquidity tokens.
Oh yeah, okay. The
Yeah.
liquidity, not like wallets, but like
Yeah.
part of it. Okay, gotcha.
The LP tokens and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that gets us pretty much to the end of the docket here, man. I guess I got one more thing for you, and then we'll wrap it up. Since we're talking PulseChain, do you think, obviously, the Ethereum system states being copied onto PulseChain, so everybody's pumped about their Hex, their Hedron, their Icosa, all the coins that they're getting copies of. Do you think that they're coins, any coins outside of the RH ecosystem that could potentially thrive on PulseChain as opposed to Ethereum? Maybe something like gas intensive, like a Decentraland. I don't know. I'm just like spitballing here, but do you think that there's a chance that something could thrive on PulseChain as opposed to Ethereum?
I think it could. You probably the easiest thing would probably be the NFT side. I would imagine.
Just
Because
because
all
of
the
the cost?
copied over. Yeah, just the cost of trading them and stuff, and then yeah, it's just hard to say like let me see. More than likely in the beginning, no. Until like much later on. I think once we get the first initial pump and then people like really see this is real and then it's like it's sticking around, like wow, this is real cool. I think that's when you actually get because people will just their coins are there. If they're a whale and they have their coins are still in the wallet as soon as they go into the network. Isn't like the coins expire. So then you could have onboarding of those coins at there. I mean, probably the ship community might end up being one that probably might have some value. I mean, all jokes aside, like there's this token called Bone, which is their version of PulseX or whatever in terms of on their L1. That's probably a token that do pretty well. But yeah.
All right, and the golden question has struck as we are wrapping up. Here we go from Tank Will. Cabana, can you ask DCC when his speculative, I just added that in there, time frame for PulseChain V3 and then mainnet is? We speculate every week on this, but we haven't had you on in a bit. What's your take, man?
I mean, I was saying like I just threw like a little spitball here. I was like, it's probably going to be like around like um, Valentine's Day, but on the stream, I forgot which stream I was on where I said that. But basically, I said like, yeah, it's that like that's where I think it'd be a really cool date to have it, but more realistically, we'd probably have it at the end of February or early March for it and stuff like that. So I'm still sticking to that. I think we'll have it before the Ides of March, before the 15th of March for V3, and then. But from there, like depending on like trouble bug shooting and people playing around with the V3 testnet, I mean, you could get like 2 to 3 months from there before mainnet launch.
So my prediction for mainnet is May. That's still looking good if you're talking 2 months from March. All right.
You may not be wrong on that. And also the longer the Fed keeps like lagging out and doing more rate hike increases, the more like I'm telling you, like it would be like we could launch it and then BTC is just like 30, then pumps to 40. We just be pumping in the market and then PulseChain launches, and that's a great place to launch it.
People are putting their guesses in chat. Yeah, March 15th, the Ides of March. Beware, Briz says. So yeah. Yeah, we're 5.5 cents on the Hex. One more question that came in here towards the end. Where did it go? Maui Hex Stream. How long do you think will take to get PulseChain for mass adoption? I guess it kind of has a head start because you're copying a full system state. But do you think we get to a mass adoption phase at any time soon?
It all depends. But I think it would hit that phase in 25. If we were to get the all-time highs in 25, like a normal cycle, it would be on that last year where people were like finally like, wow, this thing's incredible. That's when you'd get some crazy capitulation, and it would probably it'd be like a top 10 coin basically at that point.
Yeah. Mango Junkie says mid-May. Great minds think alike. Yeah. Unfortunately, Matty Allen has another year May 2024. LOL. Haha. Software is hard. Ugh. Yeah. We are reminded plenty. Plenty. Thank you, Tank. Will appreciate that. Any other comments here? Pretty much got to everything. Mango Junkie, man, I see you all the time here in Twitter. Just want to give a shout out for this show being one of 2 streams I refuse to miss, only under emergencies that I don't watch this live. Thank you, Mango. Always see you on Twitter and in the chat. I appreciate that, man. So everybody has their own taste. We have tons of awesome content creators. If you like, deep crypto knowledge with a lot of different coins involved, check out this guy below me, and he streams multiple times a week. And we got Matty Allen, we got Hexologist, we got RG3 and Discourse Syndicate. Pretty much, I guess DCC kind of started over there, right? Back in the day.
Oh yeah, one of the original members. Yeah. I think I literally only missed the first stream because I was just getting off of work. I just missed the first stream, but from the second stream onwards, I basically was on Discourse Syndicate the entire time.
Nice.
Pretty nice.
Hey, I was just wondering this today, actually. My man Toblerone asked, whatever happened to Wasabi? I think he's like surfing on some like beach somewhere, isn't he?
I don't know.
Out in Cali or something?
Puerto Rico probably, or I don't know. Like he's he's cool. I like Wasabi and stuff. He's just I don't know. He just disappeared. He like into the bushes and stuff.
Yeah, he did. He literally did. Like I saw like some like surfing tweets, or it was either on Twitter or Instagram. And I was like, man, I don't see the guy doing charts anymore or anything like that. So yeah, I was just literally thinking about that this morning. So thanks for the reminder, Toblerone. Check in on our dude Patrick. Does he still have a channel? I have no idea.
He kept changing his name. And stuff.
Yes. Wave 3, I guess, was the last one.
Yeah, or something. And then he would get mad at me for like saying, I'd call him Wasabi sometimes on the stream, and then he get butt hurt. And I was like, bro, like I could change my name 100 times. Like you guys still probably call me DCC or Litecoin Moses or fucking. I don't get like. But like I like Wasabi. Like I've known him for a really long time. He was like my best buddy in crypto for a long time. But like
just kind of disappeared.
He kind of disappears, and he gets very in his feelings and butthurt over dumb shit. Like
did he get a girlfriend?
I
was talking with
I think he got a job. I
old
think
buddy
he got a
yesterday,
job
talking about friends long lost for no reason that just disappeared, and the majority of the reasoning was, oh, they met a nice girl or whatever, which is cool, awesome, but don't forget, your brothers who got you there. At least hang out with them once in a while. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, he was actually one of the first people. I mean, I flew out to go see him and stuff. Like I was in San Diego and stuff, and we ate and shit. It was cool dude. But yeah, just he just gets in his feelings a lot. Like he's just a sensitive guy, basically. But it just is what it is. But shout out to Wasabi if you're out there.
There you go. Yes, Wave 3 was cool. Hope he comes back. Yeah. I was literally just thinking that this morning. So yeah, thanks again to LaRousse.
Shout out to Cabana, man. Cabana didn't disappear, man. He stayed around. He didn't stop YouTubing.
I am here, right, sir. I'm a man
Cabana,
of the people.
DCC, the Discourse Syndicate, Matty, the few channels that stuck around, never left, never abandoned I in the bear market. Just remember that.
I even take you guys with me on vacation and try to do a beach stream every now and then as well. Are you trolling Spike? Whatever happened to Cookie Boys? I mean, you can probably look that up on the news or a couple Hexkins Twitter feeds. But yeah.
I know you never left Bristology. I know.
Yes, Briz, you're still here. Yes, Tiago, thank you. Yeah, man, I think that's about it. So, as we do with every show, tell us where we can find you, DCC, at Dollar Cost Crypto. I think you're pretty much where your name allows it. You're that name on all handles, unless there's a character limit or something like that.
Right.
So let us know.
Twitter's a weird one. It's just basically missing the O. It's Dollar Cost Crypt, basically. But It's Cabana Crypto on YouTube and Instagram. So, and then this is one thing that I've been really pushing is like, I really want the Hex community to make Instagrams. It doesn't have to be like a personal one. It could be like a Hex related one or whatever. But we have a commanding presence on Twitter, and we need to have that same commanding presence on Instagram. I think that's just going to lead to more interviews, as well as like the community be able to onboard much more and stuff like that. So if the Hexicans are as strong as they are on Twitter, on Instagram, we're going to be out here for the cycle. It's going to continue to keep our coin alive and bringing in fresh blood. So
yeah, I agree with that. Your Instagram and YouTube games are awesome. I've actually shouted them out here once or twice on this stream too, because yeah, man, because you have, you know, clippable content, you make it easy to consume, and it's like nice little pieces, and it kind of like teases your channel. So if somebody, you know, is just scrolling by, they listen to it, oh, want to learn more about that, boom, they can, you know, they have a nice little nugget and then go over to your channel. If I had more time and resources to do it, I definitely would, but you are mastering it, man. So good job, man.
I'm going to start making actual individual reels for. I'm actually going to make actual shorts and actual like shorts on Instagram. That'll like, instead of it being like obviously most people, I mean, you have to, like, you know, you do a live stream and you just cut it up and you put it as shorts and clips and stuff like that. But I'm actually planning on doing at least a couple of actual pre-recorded things and stuff, which I've never done. So I'm just constantly trying to upgrade the channel and stuff. And then I think maybe not this week, but maybe next week I'm gonna do this crazy week of just the most clickbaity bullshit titles you've ever seen in your life, just because it'd be funny.
Hey, so if you like throw some Hex in there, you're gonna get mad views anyway, because this community just slays the view count on pretty much anything Hex. Of course, I say that, and Ivan on Tech is like teasing Hex every other tweet now, it seems. You know, in his mentions, which is funny. So yeah, Acid Thunder, thanks a lot, man. DCC on fire even when sick. Yes, the flame that can never be extinguished.
That's right. That's right.
It's the light of Litecoin, Moses. And
let me know when you have some time. I'll have you on the stream as well, Cabana, or when you're in the stateside, or you want to come to Vegas and stuff like.
There's a small chance I might be there next month, but I don't know if you'd be in town. But yeah, we can.
I should be. Yeah, we're not planning to do a crypto mindset until maybe April, I'm guessing. So it's like, as long as it's not the last week of March, I think we're good.
Okay, outstanding. Yeah. Well, cool, man. Thank you for coming on the show. Yeah, sorry about the video. That's why I'm just here the small box. If no,
don't worry about it.
We've got a major windstorm in this area. It's got to be what's affecting the internet, because I got I'm hardwired and almost always good. Everything checks out on my end. But anyway, thank you, DCC. Thank you, chat. You guys just outstanding, like just awesome views this stream. I know it's not for me. I know it's the guy right below me spewing all that knowledge. So greatly appreciated. We'll see you next week. I think we got Access Alive
nice.
Queued up. Speaking of moon math-ish stuff, I know he always brings excellent charts and stuff like that.
Definitely.
So we're gonna have him on, and probably some other panelists as well joining me. And yep, thank you everybody. Later, everybody who's saying hi and bye in the chat, and we will see you next week. Smash the like before you leave. I'm just reading that because I never say it. All right. Chill, everybody.